So hello guys, today in this episode we have a special guest on our show, Mr. Prasoon. He is a 16-year-old programmer and machine learner. So let's dive into his mind and see the video. So hello guys, welcome back to the Subham. So today we have a special guest on our show, Mr. Pratham Prasoon. So welcome to the show, brother.
Hi Shubham, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Glad to be here.
Thanks, bro. So my first question for you would be, what made you go in Python and this programming whole what you're doing right now?
So I was, I was always interested in programming. I mean, I wanted to know what you can do with code, and like it looked interesting to me, frankly speaking. And then my mom put me into this coding camp for 2 or 3 days where I learned the basics of Python. So uh, that sort of ignited my interest even more for Python, and that's how I went deeper into it. And then I saw that you can do things like machine learning and make websites and make games. You can do so much with code. uh, that really got me interested. And I've just been a huge fan of technology, since I was very small. I mean, I love computers, I love technology. So uh, that's mainly my motivation for getting into Python and programming and machine learning and stuff like that.
So where did you come first across with the word coding?
The first time I heard about coding was in 2014. There is this website called Scratch where you can basically learn how to code using blocks. It's basically coding for kids, and that was my first interaction with uh, coding. And that really sort of got me started, and that's how I went
Also,
deeper down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
also viewers who don't know about you, can you give your quick introduction to the viewers?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a high school student
And
based in
also,
Mumbai, India.
also do mention your age.
And oh yeah, sure. So I'm currently 16 years old. I'll be 17 in about a month, and I'm a programmer. I love computers. I love technology, and apart from that, I like maths and things like that. And currently, I'm studying science as in high school, and that's mainly what I do. I have around 71,000 followers on Twitter, where I talk about things that I like, and talk about my passion and interest and stuff like that. And I create content around machine learning. That's mainly what I do. And yeah.
So people who are starting to go for coding or programming, so where they can learn, like any source of learning for them.
Google is your best source. Just type the thing that you want to learn, and you'll get thousands of free resources to learn. Free Code Camp is really good, and then apart from that, you also have uh, programmers, and there are lots of resources. If you do a simple Google search, you'll get them. I also share a lot of resources on my Twitter, and there are lots of great YouTube channels like Traversy Media or Dennis Ivy. They're awesome content creators. So these are great sources to learn coding, and it's all free.
Why did you choose content creation, and why did you choose Twitter for content creation?
Well, I think Twitter was really planned to go on Twitter and make content, but I just so happened that we had the lockdown because of the coronavirus, and because of that I basically had a lot of free time. So I saw this really good tech community on Twitter, and that's how I got joined the community and started creating content. And the main reason is because I make content about the things I learn, so it helps me understand the concepts better. At the same time, I can also share my knowledge with other people. And that's basically what I do. I create content on exactly the things I'm learning right now. And yeah, it helps other people too. So that's mainly my content strategy.
And what are your future plans? Like, how will you monetize everything what you do? Do you have any dream jobs,
I
or
don't
you will build something by your own?
I don't like take money out of my audience. Like I don't sell any ebooks or thing like I mean all the content for my Twitter audience is free. Mainly all my incomes come from other side gigs apart from Twitter. Uh, and yeah, right now that's what I'm doing. I mean, maybe I'll think of selling something in the future, but not right now. And apart from that, um, my I I don't have any concrete plans yet, but we'll first go to college and then we'll see what to do. But yeah, for now, my goal is to get into a good college.
So, what are your source of knowledge? Like, where did you learn everything? What you know?
Everything for free on YouTube, Google, Medium articles. That's just exploring, reading the documentation, trying to figure things out. That's how I learned everything.
Do you read books?
No, I don't. I've honestly never paid for any, for learning how to code. Everything's been free.
So,
That's mainly my source of learning.
can you recommend some YouTube channels for viewers who are starting to do coding
There
or
is
programming?
Traversy Media, Dennis Ivy, Centredex, Free Code Camp. Just search for it, you'll get loads of it.
And what did you think? Like, uh, who do you think of when you first heard the word successful?
Oh, I think about my parents.
Why?
um, yeah, they've done so much for me. I mean, I've never, been from a particularly financially stable background, but because they worked hard and worked worked so much, which is why I'm here right now, doing great, doing just fine. So, which is why I have a lot of respect for them. Yeah, that's what comes to my mind when you say success.
What is your best advice you have ever heard?
The best advice I've ever heard is that um just honestly I can't really think of it at this point, but um I guess the best advice would be to be helpful, help other people. That's do something good for society. That's Yeah, I think that's some of the best advice I've gotten.
Also, some people who are starting out have said me that coding is boring and really hard. Do you want to comment on it?
Coding was never easy. Coding has never been easy. It's always been tough. Uh, but if you have the dedication and the passion, and if you're willing to be patient, then you can do it. That's mainly what I'll say. It takes time to get the hang of it, but it's doable, is what I say.
Also, uh, like some people who are not using Twitter, would you like to say like what's the benefit of it? Because I really enjoy Twitter.
You can meet new people. You can connect with fantastic individuals. There's lots of advantages to Twitter if you want to make money out of Twitter. Which is something I'm personally not into, but I know a lot of people are. You can monetize your Twitter, you can make content, sell ebooks, do whatever. Other than that, the community is just it's generally very good. And yeah, the main point is you can meet lots of new cool people, make connections, have a good time.
And how it feels being a 16-year-old genius. The
Oh, I'm
obvious,
not a genius.
the,
I'm an idiot.
the obvious compliment you might have heard.
I never think I'm a genius. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a genius, but what I will say is I'm very ambitious. And I work for things that I'm really passionate about. That's what I'll say. But apart from that, I don't think I'm any different than any person like you or anyone else.
So, will you continue programming and machine learning in the future, or do you have any other plans?
Oh, this might surprise you, but no, I don't want to code forever. I don't want
Oh,
to,
then
I mean, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, life can take you in different ways, but uh, I am one of those people. I don't want to code forever. Honestly, I mean, uh, yeah. At some point, I want to try other things in life, but for
so
now, I'm enjoying coding, and I love it. I love machine learning, but we'll see what happens in the future.
what are your hobbies beside coding and machine learning?
Honestly, not that much. I like talking to people like you, and I play a few video games here and there, uh, and I procrastinate a lot. And apart from that, I don't really do much. I mean, most of my time is spent creating content or programming or doing school stuff. That's mainly it.
Also, have you built anything yet?
So, I mean, what exactly do you mean by building a project or something else?
Like games or any apps?
Uh, no. I mean the weird thing is I started coding in way back in 2015, but I've taken so many breaks here and there. Um, I haven't done that many projects. The ones I've done, two or three web apps. All of those are they didn't really work in the end. But apart from that, I've done some machine learning stuff on Kaggle, and yeah, and right now I'm working on a project on something related to machine learning. So that's mainly it. I've not made any apps or games or things like that.
So, people who are starting out coding or machine learning, would you say something like, don't do this thing, avoid this thing?
I would say avoid being afraid. Avoid being afraid that machine learning is tough. Avoid being afraid that this is something that PhD level people do. It's not like that. The thing is, you can get an intuition for what machine learning is, and you can use it without knowing a lot of the underlying fundamentals, or not fundamental, underlying concepts. And I think that's a point that a lot of people miss. Machine learning is just a way of solving a particular problem, and we need to focus more on the problem and less on the tool. So I think we should treat machine learning as a tool and be more pragmatic, and that's really what I think.
And one interesting question, do you have any life quotes or any life lesson that you live your life by or think often?
Oh, one of the life lessons that I live by is that, I mean, I guess life is unfair, and you have to deal with it. I mean, I know a lot of people disagree with that, but what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of people these days are trying to virtue signal and be the victim, but I think everyone should be responsible for what they do, and their life is in a particular way because they did something. I know some people are unfortunate, and they maybe didn't have. I mean, there are exceptions. I'm not saying that, but in general, I just think you should, you are responsible for your life and uh, like how it goes. So be responsible. That's what I say.
Also, one trending question from Twitter, will you start your YouTube channel?
Oh, main issue is time right now. Once I get enough time, once I get enough, you know, enough like motivation to do it, I'll probably do it at some point. But I'm just very, um, I'm a bit exhausted right now with all the work I'm doing. So maybe a bit later.
Do you listen to podcasts?
Honestly, not that much. I mean, I mostly listen to songs and stuff, but not too many podcasts.
After this, you might listen to this podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also, like, what are your favorite Twitter accounts to follow? Also, and why?
I mean, I have lots of great friends on Twitter. There's Francesco, there is Simon Hoiberg, uh,
Yeah,
Raf Rasenberg. Uh, yeah, all of these are great individuals. I mean, if you check my following list, you'll I follow a lot of awesome people. I mean, I think all those people are awesome. And yeah, apart from that, Danny Thompson. Yeah, just lots of great people. Too, like there are way too many to name.
so you are in class 10 right now, right?
I'm in 11th right now.
What what is your favorite subject and why?
Has to be physics or math, either one of those, because uh, yeah, I just think they're cool subjects. I mean, uh, physics helps you, a lot of successful people are actually physicians. Like people who are into physics are generally, more successful than any other sciences. There was a study or something, but besides, I think physics is a fascinating subject. So is math. So yeah, that's why I like it.
Uh, for content creation, do you use any strategy? Like, how did you build like so much following you have right?
I honestly say everyone has a different journey. Everyone has different goals. Just try to be helpful to people, and do not hesitate in promoting yourself. That's mainly what I'd say to you know uh, improve your content strategy. I mean, uh, you know there is no correct way to make content. There's no wrong, like absolutely wrong way, but just try to be helpful, and that's mainly what will help you.
Do you came on Twitter to like do your content creation or you to take knowledge?
I just came to have fun, honestly, and then it turned out into something else.
When did you start it?
And I made my account in June of 2019, but
At
I
age?
started being active. That time I was 14 years old. I made it for some work. I mean, I had to log into some website or something, which is why I made my account at that time. But I didn't really use Twitter all that much. But in 2020, as I said, we had the lockdown, so I got a chance to try out Twitter. And yeah, I mean, I keep saying this. It was mostly just by accident. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, things just went on, and I came to this point.
And how did you get into all crowd? You are a researcher at all crowd.
Yeah, so they reached out to me through Twitter, and yeah, like like they wanted to bring me on board a project, and yeah, so I just accepted it, and that's how it happened.
What do you do there?
So I'm working on a project of explaining machine learning metrics. So basically, there are these metrics in machine learning that you use to evaluate models, and those and I'm trying to create a unified document that that has all of these metrics in one place, and everyone can refer to it when they're training the models or something, a sort of like a wiki guide. And yeah, that's what it's about.
Lastly, any message who want to go for coding or machine learning? Any people? Any message?
um don't give up, just keep going. I mean, it takes some time to get the hang of it, but keep trying. I mean, through trial and error you'll get it, and yeah, you can do it. That's all I can
How
say.
many
If I
language do
can
you,
do it, anyone can.
how many language do you know?
I have a very basic understanding of a lot of languages. I've done some Ruby, Java, React. I mean, I'm okay
Python
in
is your
React.
favorite.
Python, of course, JavaScript, PHP, and then if SQL is a programming language, then I'll consider that. Uh, then there is Elixir. There are lots of languages, but um, mainly I work with Python and JavaScript. So yeah.
So thanks, Prasant, for being on show.
Yeah, sure. I mean, a pleasure on my side too.
So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.